Hey there, today I've got a quick tip for people who have purchased the Alchemy Material Library add-on for Blender. So if you come over to your Properties panel and click on the Material tab, if you have Alchemy installed, you'll notice this little library button sitting right above your regular Blender Material panel business here. But if you don't see this library button, then I recommend heading over to blendersensei.com and you can quickly get to the Alchemy information page by clicking Store here and then click Alchemy. This gives you a bit more information on some of the features and really amazing, sweet stuff that Alchemy will help you do in Blender. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and X that out there. Alchemy also brings two new material types to Blender: Alchemy Effect Materials and Alchemy Particle Materials. So if I click open the library button and we scroll through some of these available materials, you'll notice that most of these material icons look like regular material icons. However, a few of them have these little sparkly bits next to them. And what those sparkly bits indicate is that that material is a particle material. In addition to coming with several particle materials that you can use in the Alchemy base pack, Alchemy also lets you create and save your own particle materials. But what you may not have known is that a single particle material can include multiple particle materials nested inside of it. So that's what I'm going to show you how to create today. Say I wanted to add a plane here, and I'll scale this out a bit, and I'm going to click on that cube and press X to delete it. So say I had this plane here, which was going to be my ground, and I wanted it to have grass on it. So I could come down here and find the grass material, click on it here, and then press Use to give that particle material to whatever object I have selected. That would add the grass to this plane. However, if we switch from solid viewport shading to material viewport shading, we can see that not only were the grass particles added to the object, but also the grass particles material to the plane, which is not really what we want. Actually, what we would much more likely want in this situation is to have a base material of dirt or sand or something that grass would go on first and then add a grass material. So let's click on this dirt material, which is procedurally generated, so we don't have to worry about UV mapping or anything like that. And I'll press Use, and this adds this base layer of dirt to this plane. So now I want to add an additional material, that grass particle material here. So what I'll do is come down to the material slots portion of the material tab and click this plus button, and this adds a blank material slot to this object we have selected, which is this plane here. On top of this dirt, I'm going to click on grass, then press Use, and this gives us a result we are much more looking for, which is a base layer of dirt with our grass on top. Okay, so yeah, that was pretty easy to do, but wouldn't it be awesome if every time I wanted to add a grass yard material to something like this, I just had a single material for it and I could press Use and I would be in business. Can we do that? And the answer is yes. Not only yes, but we can get real crazy with it, and I'm excited to show you just how crazy we can get with it. But before we do, I'm going to start up a new file because I want to show you how to make a quick backup of all of your libraries and everything, because what we're going to be doing is a little advanced, so if you accidentally delete something or something goes wrong or something, you'll be able to instantly restore it until you figure out what you did wrong or whatever. So I'm going to close the library, and under File, I'm going to press New and click Reload Startup File here. And I'm going to click back on the Material tab, click on my Options and Library Selection menu here. And then I'm going to click where it says System, and under Manage, I'm going to click Backup. And what this will do is back up all of your material libraries and everything related to them, so that if anything ever goes south, you can always click Restore and get all of them back exactly as they were. All right, so I'm done with that. So I'm going to click on System to close that up, and I'm going to click that to close my options. And I'm going to go ahead and, like we did before, I'm going to press Shift-A and under Mesh, add a plane. Scale it out and press X to delete that cube. I'm going to open up my library. So let's add that base layer of dirt and click here, use, and let's add another material slot and click on grass and press use. So right now that looks pretty cool, but having just grass on this material might look a little static. So let's add another material slot and click on clover and press use there. So now we've added this clover particle material. So I'm going to go ahead and switch this to material viewport shading so we can see the same in our big 3D view as we do in our director's chair we like to use here in Sensei Format. But maybe still this is just a little too perfect. Maybe there should be some weeds here and there. Let's add another material slot, and I could scroll all the way down here to get to weeds, or I could just click on my material categories button, click on grass because that's where I keep weeds, click it there, and I've got that material slot added for it to go into, so I'll press use. And now we've got weeds, clover, and grass. So say we wanted to save this all as a single particle material, no problem. Here's how to do it. So all you want to do is click on the first material in your material slots of your object, which is this plane we have selected here. So I'll click on this first material, which is dirt. And if the material you are using came from a library material, which this did, if we click back on all to display all materials, I'll go ahead and close the categories button there. This dirt material came from this dirt material here. So if the material you're wanting to save as a new master particle material came from the library, then what you'll want to do is come down here in the material tab and press this plus button with that selected, and then now it will say dirt 0.001. So this has been duplicated into a new material that's its own thing, separate from this material that was in the library. So this is going to be our master material for this whole grass field thing we're making. So let's rename this to grass field or whatever it is you want, doesn't really matter. So now to add this massive material system as a single material, we press the same button we do whenever we're adding any material to a library within Alchemy. We just come down here under the material's name and press this little plus sign. So I'll press that. And now you see this new grass field material in the library. So notice that the material itself takes on the appearance of the first material that was in the slots. So in the case of this being a grass field, it's not super representative that it looks like dirt. However, we do immediately get the little particle sign so we know what's going on here. So now if I were to close this library and go ahead and quit Blender and say I was doing some stuff and came back several days later and I realized, you know what, I need to use that grass yard material. I can just click on my material tab, press library, and scroll down here, which now once you reopen the library, it will be reorganized alphabetically from when you first added it. So rather than being at the end, it will be alphabetically right under where it says grass. So to add that, all I do is click on whatever I want to add it to and press use. And there you have it. There's that massive multi-particle material treated like a single material. So you can see down here in the camera view of the director's chair area what that looks like in material viewport shading, or I could switch this over to material viewport shading here. And that's it.